The haunting legend of the Silent Watcher. In the quiet suburb of Black Ridge, nestled between the bustling city and endless woods, teenagers whispered about the Silent Watcher. The legend spoke of a spectral figure said to haunt a forgotten stretch of road near the old water treatment plant. Supposedly, if you stopped your car there at midnight and honked 3 times, the Watcher would appear. Emily, a journalism student obsessed with uncovering the truth behind urban myths, decided to investigate. She was no stranger to creepy stories, but had never encountered anything that couldn't be explained. Her skepticism, paired with a flair for adventure, made her a magnet for mysteries. On a chilly October night, Emily gathered her camera, recorder, and flashlight and drove out to the infamous road. Her best friend Liam reluctantly joined, armed with snacks and a baseball bat he clearly didn't know how to use. "This is so cliché," Liam grumbled, biting into a granola bar. "We're just going to freak ourselves out for nothing." "Exactly," Emily replied, adjusting her camera's tripod. "And when nothing happens, I'll debunk this once and for all." The clock struck midnight. Emily parked her car in the middle of the road. The area was eerily quiet, the kind of silence that made every rustle of leaves sound like thunder. She honked 3 times. Nothing. Liam let out a relieved laugh. "See, a bunch of—" The laughter died in his throat as the temperature plummeted. Their breath fogged in the suddenly frigid air. A faint, rhythmic tapping echoed from the forest lining the road. Emily froze, her camera pointing toward the sound. "Probably just an animal," she whispered, trying to convince herself as much as Liam. Then they saw it. Emerging from the shadows was a figure, impossibly tall and unnaturally still, shrouded in darkness despite the moonlight. Its face, or what should have been its face, was obscured, as if the air around it shimmered unnervingly. The figure raised an arm and pointed directly at them. Panic surged through Liam. "Go! Start the car!" Emily hesitated, torn between fear and the burning desire to document the phenomenon. The figure began to move closer, its steps slow but deliberate, each one accompanied by that rhythmic tapping. Liam grabbed her arm. "We're leaving!" he shouted, snapping her out of her trance. They sped off, the road blurring into darkness. Just as they thought they were safe, the car sputtered and died. The headlights flickered out, plunging them into total blackness. "No, no, no," Emily muttered, turning the key again and again to no avail. A knock on the driver's window made them both jump. A pair of empty, hollow eyes stared back at them, belonging to a pale, weathered face. It was an old man dressed in ragged clothes. "You shouldn't be here," he said in a raspy voice. "The Watcher doesn't like intruders." "What do you mean?" Emily stammered. The man's gaze shifted toward the rearview mirror. Emily followed his line of sight. Behind them, the figure loomed, now unnervingly close. "Drive," the old man said simply, before vanishing into thin air. Suddenly, the car roared back to life. Without thinking, Emily floored the gas pedal. They sped away, not daring to look back. When they returned to town, Emily tried to make sense of what had happened. She scoured archives and interviewed locals, eventually discovering the truth. Decades ago, a hermit had lived near the water plant, accused of crimes he swore he didn't commit. One night, an angry mob drove him into the woods. The next morning, his lifeless body was found hanging from a tree near the road. Since then, sightings of the Watcher had plagued the area. Some claimed the Watcher was the hermit's spirit, seeking vengeance. Others believed it was something darker, an entity drawn to the rage and despair left behind. Whatever it was, Emily realized the legend wasn't just a story, it was a warning. And she wasn't about to test it again.